What's up, guys? We're back in the garage to work on the Maxim, aka Roy. Right behind the camera right now is literally every single piece of the carburetors. Because like I said, when I bought it, the guy pretty much handed me a bowl with all the carburetor parts and said, here you go. So this is going to be fun because since I didn't take this apart, I don't really know how the fuck it goes back together. But luckily, I got a, where the hell is it? As manual. Good old Haynes, saving the day. So I'm gonna rummage through that and see what the hell I can figure out. I did go through and clean everything up because the fuel bowls look like they came out of the bottom of the ocean. So clean the fuel bowls out, clean all the passages, all the jets, you know, everything. So should be good to go back together, fingers crossed. I went and got new bowl gaskets from a local place here in town. So hopefully this thing goes back together okay. Now, like I said, this is everything. There's intake boots, carbs, slides and diaphragms, all sorts of different pieces. There's springs, bowls, jets, and all the bolts. So hopefully everything's here. Another thing I'd like to do, if this goes well, is I already pulled the tank off and the seat off. This is a new rear tail section I got used. So that's gonna pretty much sit, it's gonna sit lower than that, but you know, you kind of get the idea. I might cut this or do something, but this is gonna be the start of the tail section. So I'd like to get the tail light ripped off, rear fender. I'd like to yank the airbox out, just so that way it's out of the way. And God only knows what the hell they painted the gas tank with, because it's not like paint feeling. It's not like that Plastidip shit. So I don't know. So I'd like to throw this in the blaster and knock all the ugly off of it and see what we're working with. But for right now, I think we'll just get the carbs handled, try and get them back on. Fingers crossed, because if all goes right, pull the battery out of the 400 and stuff it in this for a second and maybe see if this thing will run. But I don't know, my luck's not that good, but we'll give it a shot. So back to carburetors. You know what? I got a better idea. These covers look like hell. And instead of putting them all back on like this, I'm gonna run them through the blast cabinet, throw some powder on them. All right, guys, I had to cut it short. The camera died, and I charged it, for a little bit just to get a little bit of charge. Um, Carburetors are fully assembled. I realized in that last clip that I forgot to put the springs on top of the slides. So rather than make you guys sit through watching me take the caps back off, put the springs in, fix my fuck up, I just went ahead and threw them in. I got, everything together. I will say, for the kid giving me the carbs in a box, I was only missing three things. Two of the seals for the main fuel jet, and one of the little arms that rides on the, I don't know what you call it, I guess a rod for the choke. But I got the other three, so I'll get one of them on order. I went ahead and while the camera was charging, I pulled off the rear seat, the fender, so that way I can get an idea as to where I'm gonna chop it. I also pulled out this plastic thing and managed to get the air box out and the battery box, which I will say, what a motherfucker getting that air box out is. Holy shit. But all this is gonna get relocated just so that way it's like hollow in there. I think it'll be cool. I'll probably be chopping it right here because I found this really cool ass taillight on eBay for super cheap. That's just a round tube with a LED in it. So I'll just chop that off, put some slugs in the frame, slide that tube taillight thing on, weld it, and send it. And once again, the camera died again. So that last clip you guys seen was about 2 days ago. I think the last part, I won't really know until I edit it, but I think the last part was me either talking about the tail section or the tail light. And for the tail section, I decided this is the old tail section off my R6, and if you guys seen the build series on that, you'll recognize this ugly beat up thing. If you haven't seen it, go watch that, because that bike was a mess and it turned out amazing. But I think what I'm gonna do is cut about from here down and probably right here before it starts to round out. And I want to kind of graft this onto this, so that way it's kind of got like some old school vintage style, you know, with a little bit of flat track flair, with a little bit of like Street Fighter, I don't know. But try and make this and this one thing, and I'll, you know, fiberglass over everything. You know, we'll fill this in, make it just all one uniform piece that we can, you know, build a seat pan for, and it should turn out pretty good. But for the last clip you guys seen, you know, once the camera died, I stayed in the garage for just a couple more minutes and hooked the jumper cables up to the quad, and then hooked them to the bike, just because I want to roll it over, you know, make sure that, you know, the rings weren't frozen, or, you know, it wasn't going to make any horrible noises, because I've really been holding off on ordering parts until I knew for sure that this thing would at least roll over freely. You know, I can figure out, you know, no spark issues or wiring issues. But, you know, if the bottom end was gone and, you know, pistons are flinging around in there, I was just going to, you know, be done with it or whatever. But I do have good news. It did roll over, you know, freely. But with good news always comes bad news. And that is that while I was just cranking it over and letting the engine roll over, it shot all of this nasty rust water out of the exhaust. So I'm a little concerned with that. It's not cool, but I guess if it becomes an issue, it'll rear its head and we'll have to deal with it. But I think for right now, I'm gonna try and go raid through all my fuel cans. Hopefully I have some fuel. Shit, I don't know if I do or not. At the very least, we'll at least get this thing fired up, you know, at a minimum on starting fluid. You know, just so that way we can hear it run for a second. You know, I already checked for, you know, it sounds like it has great compression. I pulled the plugs out, you know, cranked it, you know, checked each plug, you know, every wire's firing, you know, nice true spark. So there's no coil issues or anything like that. So really don't see why this thing shouldn't fire. I got it to pop the other night, but I just figured I would just wait so that way I could film it and actually hear it like run. So we'll hit this thing with some starting fluid if I can't find any gas, and we'll get to hear what this 81 inline 4-cylinder Fury sounds like, which I think this also has an aftermarket exhaust already on it. I slid the muffler off of it because it had a rust hole in it and it was bashed in. But you know, the more and more I look online, every Maxim I see has, you know, dual exhaust. Well, this one has a 4-into-1 header, so thinking we may have got an aftermarket exhaust, which would be cool. Yeah, I'm gonna header wrap it and stuff anyway. So yeah, let's see if it'll start. see. Alright, neutral. And nothing. What the fuck? Alright. Take two. What the hell? Alright, there we go. Taillight's on. Son of a bitch. What's the deal there? Is my ground suck or what? Alright, got no power. Still no power. What the hell? Okay, back to the connection plot. That's good. That's good. Alright, tail light again. Oh, that's funny. The headlight works and there's no headlight fuse in it. That's hilarious. That's really funny. Alright, we'll get a little more goat juice. Probably evaporated the whole time I was sitting there fucking with the battery. Oh, that's awesome. And there you guys have it. I honestly cannot believe that that thing runs. You know, especially for, you know, being a $200 motorcycle off Craigslist. That, and I say this with love, it was kind of a junker, but the fucking thing runs. I can't believe it. That is absolutely awesome. I'm really surprised it was that easy. Sounds healthy, so I think it's safe to say that it's time to order parts. So by the time you guys are watching this, I'll have new gauge cluster on the way, exhaust. I'd have to go, you know, look through my cart at different places, but I got a lot of cool stuff coming. So there you have it. Roy runs. The $200 Craigslist special is alive. So that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry you guys couldn't hear it run longer. I don't have any fuel, so unfortunately we just had to give it little spurts of starting fluid. But either way, I'll take it. It fired up, so it's all the same to me. So like I said, that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys wanna follow along on turning this thing from, well, what it is now to something more badass and modern, you know, definitely hit that subscribe button. Drop me a like on the video. Yeah, that's it, man. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. fuck yeah, Roy runs. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.